This is the Toshiba TY-HRU30 radio. A rather attractive desktop type radio with an interesting wood type finish along the sides and at the top. A nice carry strap here, USB functionality, and it covers FM, medium wave and shortwave. Shortwave in 6 bands, continuous bands, which is quite interesting, from 2.2 megahertz all the way up to 22 megahertz with no gaps in between. This is Andre from SWL, and this is my review of this Toshiba radio. It is available quite widely on websites in Africa, Asia, the Middle East that I have seen, but I have not seen this radio available on websites like Amazon in Europe, the UK, or in the United States. So I don't know if it is available there. But here in South Africa, the rest of Africa, and as I say, the Middle East, Asia, I've seen it. The price is in the $30 range, $30 to $35 is what I have seen. I paid for mine just about $30 from a local online commerce website in South Africa called Takealot. So this was a local purchase. It was delivered quite quickly. Stock available here in South Africa. And yeah, I'm quite impressed with this radio, to be honest. Of course, it's not competing with top-of-the-range radios. This is like a mid-range radio, I would say. If you are in the market for FM, medium wave and shortwave all-in-one radio, maybe this is something that you can look at. It came in a rather big box. The radio only fits like on this side of the box, and then in the box a power cable, which is here. My power cable, interestingly, is the UK plug point, not the South African plug point. So that style. Power pins are round here, these are square. I'm assuming this is for other markets in Africa actually, where this is still used. And then it also came with 2 manuals, Chinese and Arabic on that side, and then there is a manual in English, and on the other side it is in Spanish. So I'm assuming that it's probably also available in Latin American markets. Very simple manual, so because it's quite a simple radio to use. Toshiba Lifestyle Electronics, Tokyo, Japan. It is obviously made in China, as most electronics are, but I'm assuming it was developed in Japan, which makes it a little bit unique because there are not so many radios, Japanese shortwave radios that I know of, that are still easily available. So the radio covers FM from 88 to 108 megahertz, shortwave, as I said, in 6 bands from 2.2 megahertz up to 22 megahertz, and medium wave is from 530 kilohertz up to 1600. It is continuous shortwave, so there are no gaps. As you can see here, it goes from 2.2 up to 5.6. The next band starts at 5.6 up to 8.9, 8.9 to 12.2, and it continues like that. So this means that you might also be able to pick up some signals that are outside the regular broadcast bands, which is quite a nice to have, I think. The USB port there, if you want to play MP3 music saved on a USB stick with a simple fast forward, play, pause and a rewind button. So just going to the next track or going to the previous track and play, pause. Nice, quite long antenna. There you go. It works with 2 D-cell batteries. I have a separate unboxing video, so you can have a look at that if you're interested in the unboxing. And there is the input for your AC power cable, if you want to use that. So my initial comments about this radio, before I will show you a band scan. It's a nice radio. It has very good quality sound. The reception is quite good. It is a DSP-based analog radio, so sometimes there are some electronic noises that I don't like. So I don't know, I think the DSP chip is maybe not implemented in the best way. So sometimes when you are scanning, it makes a bit of noise. The medium wave is quite good. The FM, like with all DSP-based radios, is really very good. So it's an excellent radio on FM. The sound quality is good. I will show you when I play a USB stick. Maybe I will start with that on this radio. So let's just have a listen to the sound quality. On and off is also with the volume switch. This here is your tuner, and that's your band selector. Right, so let's listen to the USB. I have some podcasts from the BBC there.
And the song that carries his namesake, Fado Armandinho.
If you hold in the fast forward and the rewind button, then it fast forwards, as you can see. Or if you press it once, it jumps to the next track.
This is the BBC.
This podcast is supported by advertising outside the UK.
So there you go. It works nicely. Nice sound on the USB. Let's have a listen to FM. As per usual, I will try to find my reference station 104.2, which is Pretoria FM. It's in Pretoria, 30 miles away from where I am. Not usually a very clear reception here where I am. So if a radio receives that signal, I see it as a radio with good FM reception. Right, so this is Pretoria FM 104.2. Very clear, very good reception. That's very good, because on most radios that I have, that station usually is a little bit crackly. This one is one of the only ones that actually picks it up perfectly clearly.
Daar sê hy baie lekker rondgery saam met Hugo al die paaie in die wêreld, nie?
So that's a sign of very good FM reception. I'll just scroll through a little bit so you can see also how it picks up stations and locks onto the signals very clearly.
Stand-up guy. He's like
as a customer base who
In the country, the rights in KZN.
van die uitspraak dat dit 'n Ponzi-skema is op ons as likurateer.
This is 101.5 RSG, which is the local public service in Afrikaans.
'n Wettige bestaan gehad het, 'n wettige
On this.
how did you deal?
sure that when the 50
Minus the old
Absolutely.
sound of Port Alfred to be.
Yeah, so I'm very happy with FM reception on this one. If you are looking for a very good quality FM radio, excellent, really, really good. So let's see on shortwave. I'm only going to have a look at the 31 meter band, which is band 3 on this one, because usually at this time of the night I have quite a lot of stations there.
I'm curious how you feel like the music scene in Taiwan, or just both performing in Taiwan, has been different from your experiences performing in other countries.
I do like the music. I mean, the funny thing is that here, in Taiwan, most of the songs that they...
So this is 9405. It is Radio Taiwan International from Taipei. Very, very distant signal. Keep in mind I'm in South Africa.
Only where I came from is...
እናመሰግናለን እንጸልይ እግዚአብሔር አምላካችን ሆይ
I think this is China Radio International.
እንታመናለን የዚህችን ምሽት እግዚአብሔር
It's in Uyghur. That is 9420 kilohertz.
ባችን በደስታ ይም
China, talking to Zhao Yang. You're listening to World Today. Stay tuned. Welcome. I'm Elad, economics professor and member of the data science and AI at New York University, Shanghai.
Okay, this is also CRI in English, clearly.
Impartial insight.
The
Забот старику с больным сердцем. Однажды паренек втягивает отца в очередные неприятности. Он влюбляется в лесную красотку, которая встречается с неким Крисом.
I think this is China Radio International in Russian.
Смирить молодежь своим авторитетом. За руль aims to help companies. ሁሉን ያልፍ ዘንድ መንፈሳዊ አይኖቻችንን
with some of my best friends. The song is
This is Voice of Turkey, 9460 kilohertz. So you can see it is quite sensitive with picking up rather distant signals. But you do hear the sort of the DSP muting. The signal, it's like it's being clipped all the time. But anyway, the signal is there. This would be Trans World Radio from Menzini in Swaziland, Eswatini.
Despite these events. Wow, so it's quite a brutal turn then that the story takes, but it sounds all the more powerful. I know.
ርካሽ ማስታገሻን አትስቀሉ። በችግር በፈተናና በጭንቀት ለምታልፍ ነፍስ ከሞት ጋር የተቀል የወይን ጠጅ እንዲጠጣ
$7 billion new jobs we created. The idea that, a job stops in one area there, therefore it's lost forever. It's nonsense.
Okay, that's CRA in English again. But I had KBS in English from Korea. I'm just going to try to find that.
Away forever is this idea that you can't.
I love festival and in the Shanghai agents and Foku and Tongmin hear the story of festival.
Yes, this is KBS from South Korea in English.
Commenting on Foku and Tongmin's relationship and on the role of life in general. At the same time, it's also just a evocative setting for their story. It has a deep reservoir of connected to these sort of historical elements and their own personal.
This is 9515 kilohertz.
Functions in our lives.
Okay, these are all a lot of China Radio International signals, all quite close together. I'm not going to identify everything, but I think you can see that it is quite sensitive on shortwave. It picks up lots of stations. Okay, and now we're sort of in between the broadcast bands.
Whereas with human beings, we don't
And this is now the 25 meter band.
years and years to acquire that. How AI works, how it can.
Where people always.
Okay, so that gave you a very good idea of how this radio performs on shortwave. I had a look at the 31 meter band there, picks up lots and lots of stations, some quite clearly. Usually this one is not so strong on medium wave.
fine. Only not to.
Local stations.
I'm going to pray for this guy.
Regards to it, dispatch it, and to them that receive it and take it along.
It's picking up some quite distant stations. This one here is Mozambique. That's VOA again from Botswana.
I get more than 800 inboxes.
This is also one of the provincial services in Mozambique. That will be 1177, which is Trans World Radio, I think, from Eswatini.
By the Africa Muslims Agency, whosoever both in
Radio Islam. Just all the way down again. This first one is from Botswana. This one would be Botswana. So it's picking up a couple of distant medium wave signals, but not nearly as many as there are out there now. Usually at this time of night, I pick up loads of medium wave signals. Lots and lots of signals from Mozambique and from Botswana. It's picked up too from Mozambique and some of the signals from Eswatini and the local signals. So for a little bit of medium wave DXing, it's fine, but it's definitely not a real medium wave DXing machine. Yeah, overall impressions, I think this is quite a nice radio. Of course, it's not on the level of the higher quality Texans and Sangean radios. But if you're in an area where this is like the only radio that you can easily buy, no need to wait for an import or something, it's available on a local site. I would say if what you need is a good FM radio, nice reception on shortwave, which it does have, the USB functionality to play your own MP3s, by all means, go for it. It is quite a nice radio. $30 is a bit steep. You can also still buy the XH Data D109, this one, directly from China from the XH Data website for $31. I would honestly say if you are planning to order something and you only can buy one radio and you don't mind waiting for an overseas delivery, then rather go for this one. It's much better. It just has so much more functionality and gives you a lot more. It's got memory functions. It's got digital keypad entry. It's got sleep timer, alarms. It's just in a completely different league. But if for some reason this radio is available to you easily and you don't want to import something, it will be okay. I'm not going to give it a very high rating. I would say out of 5, I'll probably give it 3 out of 5 at most. It's good. It's very good on FM. It works on shortwave. You will pick up stations. You will have fun. It does pick up some stations on medium wave. But yes, there are better quality radios available. And I think definitely the first one, as I said, that comes to mind is this one, the XH Data D109. And also if you want to pay even less and get a really small radio, you can consider the XH Data D219, which in my opinion is better actually than this radio.